Hi, I have a few questions for you, and I want you to answer honestly. Do you understand deep in your core that as a feminine being, you are beautiful? Do you feel powerful and sexy when expressing your most authentic self? Do you believe that your connection to your feminine gifts, such as your sensuality, your empathy, your heartfelt desires, your ability to communicate with your whole being, your heart, your body, your mind, your soul, are a gift to this planet? Do you know that you are worthy of feeling beautiful and sexy and vibrant and lit up in your life every day? My name is Carrie Ann, and I own a feminine embodiment studio called Sisters in Motion. And I am here to tell you that if you don't believe that these things are possible for you, trust me, you are not the only one. We have been sold a lie that the most inherent gifts that we have to give are our ability to hustle, to get stuff done, to get more clients, to get more work, and that's what makes us valuable. Except here's a challenge with that. If you are a feminine being, and when I talk about masculine feminine, I'm talking about what feels like your most authentic expression, not what you've been trained to feel is your most authentic expression. So we get a lot of information that basically says like our gifts come from like our warrior getting stuff done. Rah! And for those of us who are like really, really authentically feminine beings, like I am, we can do that and we can kick ass at it. And it's helpful a lot of the time. However, when we only are focused on these goals, and if we don't cultivate our ability to receive pleasure, our connection to our sensuality, our connection to other women, and if we think that we have to like push and push and push to get our desires met rather than actually being worthy of receiving them, then we feel depleted, we feel anxious, and our relationships suffer. And especially our relationships with our masculine counterparts. And again, I don't mean necessarily men, although yes, and but anyone who has a more masculine essence. So at Sisters in Motion, we use the feminine embodied movement practice called S Factor, which you may have heard about from the Netflix documentary Strip Down, Rise Up. And we use it to reprogram your critical mind and get you into the deep feeling of your body, which connects you to your pleasure, sensuality, and moving emotions in a healthy and empowering way. S Factor is a modality that is set up to eradicate shame around women's bodies and sexuality. And we do this through slow, sensual movement, music exploration. If you're in the studio, we use a pole as something to play with, archetype work, clothing exploration, all sorts of things that we play with in order to connect you into your feminine gifts. And it's through that play and that dance that we free you up in how to explore how your feminine body wants to express yourself authentically, letting go of any like preconceived programming from society that says that you should or should not act, move, or be any particular way. So we do this through embodied movement. So I'm going to lead you in a little taste of an embodied movement practice where I invite you to connect to the sensuality and the beauty of your feminine body. So don't worry, you can do it right here in front of your computer or later on if you want. And this is what I usually suggest, is that you can create your own sacred space later with candles and dim lighting and take yourself on a little date. But I'm going to do it out here in the backyard where I can like hear kids like screaming as they're swimming, like our neighbors. It's summer, like I hope they're having a great time. So I've created a playlist that's in the comments, and I'm going to have my ear pods in, they're already there, so that you don't hear the audio on my side, which I found can be distracting. So I invite you to pull up the playlist in Spotify or iTunes. I'm going to pull mine up. And I suggest that you put the music in your ears. So there's a reason why I choose not to play it like here, because I know the audio always sounds crappy, and and I find it distracting and like not sensual and more irritating. So I invite you to set it up so the sound quality is best for you, which I usually just, suggest is that it's in your ears. And then that way you can also feel the music. So once you get that, you can pause this video and go ahead and grab whatever you need, and you can be, sitting in front of your desk or like at your desk in front of your computer, or, as I said, later on. So I'm going to cue us down. So go ahead, pause this video if you need to grab whatever you need. And then when we're ready to start moving, you can be in a chair, you can be on the floor, wherever you feel good, but I'm just going to be doing it from a sitting. It doesn't require a lot of space. And then I'll cue us to press play, so we start moving at the same time. So I'm pulling up my playlist right now. It only has 2 songs on it. It's about 7 minutes of movement. You don't have to do the whole thing if you don't want to. Also, just an FYI, I am going to be cueing breath work, but here's the thing. If the breath work that I'm cueing doesn't feel good to you, or it elicits any sort of like I can't breathe or restriction in the body, rather than like a settling or a calmer presence, then just breathe on your regular breath. So I'll be cueing it, but everything that we do in this practice is about what works for you and what feels good for you. So what might feel good to me might not feel good to you. So I'm going to give you lots of suggestions of things that you can play with. So counting down from 3, 2, 1, play. There we go. And I'm going to take just a little scooch back in my cross-legged sit in my chair, because I can't sit like a normal person because it feels too weird. And just closing your eyes, letting your belly draw in, or if closing your eyes feels like it creates a little anxiety, you can just take kind of a soft gaze, gazing at a spot on the floor or the wall through the fringe of your eyelashes. But I like closing my eyes because it helps close everything down. And this is a practice that's about feeling into your body and not what it looks like. So taking a deep inhale through your nose and exhaling out through an open mouth. Maybe like you're fogging up a window, taking that inhale through your nose, softening your jaw so you can feel that heat of your exhale across your bottom lip. Taking another inhale through your nose, maybe you start to feel your ribs expand, letting your belly expand. Most of us are shallow breathers, so we may only feel our breath in here. And if that's the case for you, I encourage you to send your breath deeper down into your body, provided that feels good to you. If it's just an unconscious, being a shallow breather, maybe try breathing so that your rib cage actually expands out, you soften through your belly. And as you exhale, in the next 3 breaths, as you exhale, letting your shoulders slide a little further away from your ears, you can reach your hands down towards the ground. And all you're going to do is you're just going to start to soften through the muscles in your back a little bit, just coming into a little sway. Feeling how the music maybe moves you into that sway. And then on your next inhale, maybe it lifts your chest a little bit. You feel a scroll through your shoulders. And then you're going to exhale and drop your chin down to your chest. And on your next inhale, still letting your body kind of ripple just from the hips up, you're going to let one ear come over to one shoulder and just bringing your awareness into that stretch on the side of your neck. And if you don't feel anything, let your chin just kind of drop down. It can come towards your collarbone, or it can reach out towards the computer. Maybe you lift it up to the sky. But it's so unique, finding wherever is like the sweet spot, and then letting your awareness just feel that tug of your stretch, noticing what it feels like. Maybe imagining that you're sending your next inhale like a balm, letting it just soften and warm into that stretch in your neck. And then on your next inhale, letting it open through your chest. And exhale, dropping your chin back to center. Your next inhale is going to take your ear over to the other side. And notice if you're clenching your jaw. And if you are, you can always just motorboat through your lips, or kind of take a lion's breath. Don't worry, our eyes are closed. Nobody can see you. I'll do it, and I'll make the funny face. And just letting your awareness go into that stretch on the side of your neck, maybe noticing any difference from one side to the other. Maybe one side is tighter, maybe it's a little intense. Where do you feel that stretch? Is it up behind your ear, maybe? Is it down into your shoulder point? And then just letting your breath, imagine it's like a warm balm just coming over, just seeing if it can kind of soften around any tension in your muscles. Letting your chin just begin to move, getting really curious about where in your unique body you can send a little softening into your side of your neck. And then inhale, taking your head forward. Maybe exhale, feel that tickle of the warmth of your breath across the top of your chest. And inhale, you're going to squeeze your shoulders up. And as they do, they're going to help carry your chest forward, letting your shoulders come down away from your ears. And now you're just going to make a circle with your rib cage, basically from here up. And that circle might feel a little awkward if you're not used to moving in the circular motion. And as you start to kind of round through your shoulders, as you come forward, as you kind of scoop through your belly, your shoulders come forward. And then inhale, letting your collarbones scroll open, letting your shoulders come a little bit wider. And then as you do this, maybe feeling, again, just coming back in, feeling how your inhale opens up your chest, and your exhale maybe rounds, creating more space. This time, letting your shoulder blades slide a little further away from each other, so you feel a stretch under your shoulder blades. And all you're doing is just making whatever size circle feels good to your body here. And you may start to find that your head maybe wants to move in response to that opening of your chest. And then you're just going to let it change direction. And as you do, I'm going to invite in a little bit of self-touch. And I don't mean like anything super overt or anything, but I just encourage you to let your fingers begin to slip across the curve of your jaw. And as your body continues to ripple and move, letting your fingers just begin to feel the gorgeous curves of your collarbone. Feel the texture of your skin or your shirt under your fingertips. And then as that last song lands, wherever you've landed, coming back to neutral, the straight spine, feeling your fingers on your body, maybe just letting one hand come onto your heart, your other hand coming onto the other. And you just took a little exploration into the feeling of your body. Inhale into that sweet press of your hands on your heart, just offering maybe a little gratitude into your body. Because no matter where you are, your body was healthy enough to bring you right here. And that does not mean that you have a healthy body. It does not mean that you are without injury. It just means you are healthy enough to be here in this practice. And then maybe you just let your hands wrap around your arms, letting your body physically have a closing sensation, because embodied movement can feel really opening. So letting your body close, tuck your chin to your chest, and then just saying thank you into your body. Letting your hands eventually melt back down to your knees. And just, if your eyes were closed, softly opening them, and you're just going to reorient yourself into the space where you find yourself. Just begin to notice colors and shapes. And you're just taking this practice from going inward in your body to taking you back into the space around you, kind of coming back into being in the space where you are. So that is just like a super 7 minutes of embodied movement. And you may find, like many of us do, that when you do that, you start to breathe a little slower. You become more present. As you know, I keep cueing you to feel things in your body. You're feeling your hands on your body. Like, it just brings you back into the present moment rather than being in like your to-do list of get stuff done. It brings you back into actually feeling your body being alive. And here's the thing, this might not work for everybody, and that's totally okay too, but it is a practice. So the more you do it, the more likely you are to be able to benefit from an embodied practice. So that's it. So we did it. So that's just a taste of what our classes and our workshops offer you. If you feel a little more sensual, you may find a little more relaxed. You feel maybe a little more alive, a little more like turned on, like to your senses. So if you imagine that this is a practice where you become more and more comfortable with your body, connecting to pleasure and sensuality, and when that happens, you start to feel more joy and more alive and more vibrant and more playful. And as I said, it can decrease the levels of stress and anxiety in your body. You feel more supported, you feel more free, and you feel more hopeful, I find. These are just some of the things that these are words that my clients have used to describe when they come take a class, like how they feel at the end of class, where we're doing a lot more than just 7 minutes of that. But, you know, there's something to be said for just being able to take a moment to connect in, you know, feel your hands come here, notice the temperature of your body, feel how your heart expands through your touch. Like, it's just a reconnecting, a resettling. Yeah, it's a lovely practice to have. And so, you know, if this is a practice that you want more of, or you feel a little bit enticed, then you're in luck, because there are so many ways to dive deeper so that you can start to embody a new you, really. My studio, Sisters in Motion, which I mentioned, that I own it with my sister Jenny, so we're like literally the sisters who are in motion. It offers live virtual S-Factor classes, meaning you're working with a teacher and other students in a virtual space, but in real time. And we have in-studio S-Factor classes at our San Francisco studio, as well as ongoing workshops. And if you're not sure that an ongoing practice is right for you, I'm totally happy to share with you that for the first time ever, we're offering a 3-day S-Factor intensive, where you'll learn how to further connect to your body in this transformational way. So this workshop it's a 3-day intensive, and it's from August 19th to the 21st, and you can join 2 of my virtual teachers, Lonnie and Lara, who will guide you for 15 hours of S-Factor movement and philosophy. You'll learn about how your unique body experiences pleasure in movement, what clothing feels good, what music your body, not your mind, whoa, the breeze, is excited by. So I'm going to geek out for a second, because one of the most amazing things that I learned through this practice is that my body likes totally different music than my mind does. So, and it's a total trip when people experience that, where like you'll be listening to something and you'll be thinking about it and you'll be like, this song, like I hate this song, or I love this song. And then you get embodied and you feel it with your body, and your body has a totally different reaction. It's a total trip, and I love it so much. But I guarantee you, it's not what your mind thinks. You can't think your way into it. You have to be in an embodied moment to experience it. And again, it's a total trip. It's so fun, and it's always like exciting to experience that. So anyway, so in this weekend intensive, you'll be led by these really loving and supportive teachers, along with an amazing group of women, to feel the joy and the fun and the power and the just like innate juiciness of your body. And you feel what we call body drunk, where where you feel like you do your practice and you come out feeling like, what just happened? Like you feel all like, I'm hot. Like, what did I was my superpowers I just connected to, and like no one even saw. No one knows how hot I am. And that's just how you feel from the inside out. So, you know, if this is something that lights you up and you want to go even deeper, then you can join me at my studio in San Francisco for a 5-day, 40-hour intensive called Essential S Immersion. And that will take everything that you learned from this virtual weekend intensive and like magnify it. So the 5-day in studio Essential S Immersion will be September 22nd through the 26th for 8 hours a day. It's 40 hours of embodied movement practice and philosophy. And since only Master S Factor teachers are allowed to teach Essential S Immersion, there's only a handful of places where you can get this experience. I don't know of any that are happening anytime soon. So as an S Factor master teacher, which just means that I went through a master teacher program with Sheila Kelly, S Factor's founder, and I'm also a teacher trainer and studio owner. I've taught Essential S so many times, and some of the things that I've heard our students say about it include that was the most transformational experience of my life. I've heard people say I got more out of this experience than any other retreat, S Factor or otherwise, that I've ever done. I'm going to read this quote. This quote says, "The sisterhood created in immersion is powerful and rewarding. As you make these discoveries with the women in your class, your sense of community and belonging increases. Long-lasting friendships form. Carrie Ann is a phenomenal teacher who will absolutely lead you through a formative 5-day journey deep into your erotic creature." So you'll learn a lot about your erotic creature. And if you don't know what that is, then you are in for a treat. Because your body has a lot of things to tell you, and most of us haven't been listening. So if you're ready to connect to your fierce, raw feminine power and the radiance of your sensuality and your pleasure through feminine movement, I invite you to dive into the 3-day virtual S Factor Weekend Intensive this August 19th through the 22nd, August 19th through the 21st. As I said, it'll consist of 3 live classes, meaning that they're not recorded, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific time. And if after this intensive, so if you do the virtual intensive and you decide that you want to go deeper and join me in San Francisco for the week-long intensive, the price you pay for this virtual course will then be applied to the fee for the in-studio immersion. So you essentially get 2 intensives for the price of 1. So the virtual course is $4.99, and if you sign up for the in-studio immersion before August 15th, you can get the early bird pricing of $1,900, and after August 15th, the price for the 40-hour immersion is $2,200. And the links for both of these courses are in the comments below. And for more information, you can go to our website at sistersinmotionsf.com, or you can email our ambassador team at admin@sistersinmotionsf.com. You know, you can sign up for, trying a free class and see if this is something that you want to do. Did I say a free class? You can start, it's not free, it's $15 to try your first class. So yeah, you can even try it out. You can try a class and see how it feels. And honestly, this is just the gift that keeps on giving, and you absolutely deserve to feel beautiful and lit up in your life. My incredible teaching team and I, we already know that you are gorgeous and sensual and radiant, and like, we are so passionate about reminding you that you are, because something in you already knows, even if it's like really, really, really deep down. And so all we do is just invite you to remember it, and it is spectacular when that happens. So I hope to see you soon, and you can ask any questions below, and my team will get back to you, or as I said, you can reach out directly to us at admin@sistersinmotionsf.com. Have a great day.